Oh, we are live! How are we, lads? Come on, the footy! The footy spot! Guys, subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! The Cowboys win it! Woo! Hi, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Rugby League Breakdown podcast, episode number 54 for your Wednesday night, June 29th, 2022. It is currently 7:01 p.m. Welcome back to the channel, and I am joined by ProEnzo Vidz, who is up at the top there, and in the background you can see the Manly Warringah Eagles poster, I believe it is, or a flag, I could be wrong. And down the bottom in the Rabbitohs hoodie, it is CJ MOXLEY. Unfortunately, all that Champa is unavailable tonight, so CJ MOXLEY will be joining us. It's going to be a great show. ProEnzo Vidz, how are you, bro?
Yeah, going good, bro. Episode 54. Keen for it, and there's a lot to talk about. So good to have another episode on. It's a shame about Champa, but good to have CJ on another episode.
Yes, mate, absolutely. It is a shame about Champa, but as always, the show goes on, and down the bottom there in that very nice South Sydney Rabbitohs jumper, hoodie, whatever the hell you want to call it nowadays, is CJ. CJ, how are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm well, man. Bit on and off with the flu, but I'll be right. Thanks for having me on.
No worries, brother. It's good to have you on, as always. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe. It means a lot if you can like the live stream and subscribe to the channel around here as well. If you're new, it means a lot to me. All right. Hello, everybody in the live chat. Hope you guys are all well. Let's have a look at who's in the chat here. It's starting to build up at the moment. It's good to see. Hello to Paripi, SS Storm fan. Warriors NRL Fanatics is here. Who else we got here? We got Daniel Sexton in the house. We've got Faraz, Electrical Dust, Luke Melbourne Storm fan. Metallic Panther is here as well. The chat is building, and it's good to see a good crowd here on Wednesday night. Boys, let's get into the podcast, shall we?
Let's do it.
Yep.
And hello, Jason Reader. I see you there too, my friend. I hope you're doing well as well. All right, let's get into the podcast. A little bit to talk about tonight. A few things been going on around the NRL and everything like that. All right, let's just get straight into the show. Topic number 5, straight off the bat, lads. The Dolphins have officially signed Sean O'Sullivan. But we all sort of knew a couple of months ago that Sean O'Sullivan was probably going to go to the Dolphins, but we weren't really sure if it was going to happen. It's now been officially confirmed. I'll start with you first, ProEnzo Vidz. What are your thoughts on Sean O'Sullivan going to the Dolphins, and is it a good addition for the Dolphins?
Obviously I made a video about this on my channel about my thoughts on O'Sullivan to the Dolphins, and I think saying it here now, I think it's a great pickup. They need a marquee halfback, and he's not like an experienced halfback or a real game-changing type half, but I think he's a bit to be a backup player. I think he is definitely a first grader, definitely not someone who comes in for injuries or suspensions. So it's good that he starts his it's good to see him start maybe getting a bit more games, more first grade games like he deserves under a new franchise, especially with his dad being there too, Peter O'Sullivan, he's the recruitment manager, I'm pretty sure. So it's good. It's a good pickup. I think him and Young Katoa or whoever it is in the halves next year will be good for him. So good pickup for sure.
I mean, look, he does have plenty of experience. He's played for the Roosters. He's played for the Broncos. He's played for the Warriors. And he's now at the Panthers. He's played for a few clubs. He's been a bit of a journeyman. I think he is a great halfback. I think he can play a great role at the Dolphins. I think he will be the starting halfback because obviously they're not going to land a marquee signing. The Dolphins' first year of the NRL next year is going to be a bit mediocre. So the Dolphins are trying to build. They're going to build a roster. They're going to build a good squad. It's not going to work in just 1 year's time. But I think it is a good signing. I think it will be a good addition for the Dolphins. I do like the pickup. CJ, Sean O'Sullivan to the Dolphins. Do you like it or what?
I like it a lot, actually. I think when he comes in for Nathan Cleary in that Penrith side, he does a really good job. And under Wayne Bennett, I think his game's going to go to a whole new level. I really rate the bloke. It's a great signing, and there's no doubt that he'll be the starting halfback.
Yeah, exactly right. You've got that young Katoa kid. He was supposed to play for Tonga over the weekend, but wasn't picked. So if those two can form a good partnership, Katoa and O'Sullivan, I think they can be a very nice house pairing for the Dolphins. And look, obviously, Sean O'Sullivan has been around for a couple of years now. He knows his trade. He's not like a rookie halfback. He'll come in, he will do a job, and I think he'll be fine. So very smart move from Wayne Bennett. And being coached by Wayne Bennett as well is a very smart decision. So Sean O'Sullivan, and boys, I just want your take on this for a minute as well. If Sean O'Sullivan was at a club like the Bulldogs or a club like the Titans or a club like Newcastle, he would probably be starting every week, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I honestly think so.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
If he was at a mediocre club right now, like the Dogs, Titans, Knights, teams that need a halfbacks that need to be starting every week, O'Sullivan would probably be starting that. Even CJ, with all due respect, if O'Sullivan was at South Sydney, he would probably start over Ilias, in my opinion, anyway.
He needs to be a starting halfback. He deserves that spot, in my opinion.
Obviously, there was the option where he could have went over to the Super League and for a year and came back and whatever, but he decided to stay in Australia and he's going to be playing for the Dolphins next year, which is going to be good as well. Also, just on the Dolphins, boys, do you reckon someone like Brodie Croft could come back and go to the Dolphins and be coached by Wayne Bennett?
Well, Nick, I know you said Brodie Croft, but I have another player in mind. Elijah Taylor wants to come back to the NRL.
Perfect.
I think he'll be a pretty solid pickup for the Dolphins.
I think it would be a good addition. I mean, I think Wayne Bennett needs to have a look at the Super League, try and get some players over here. I think they tried to get Conrad Hurrell, but it didn't work out. I don't think Conrad wanted to come back to the NRL.
I wish they took him.
It's been good for your St. Helens, Lorenzo, but it's a very good addition. All right, well, let's get on to the next part of it now. The Roosters, they've picked up Matt Lodge for the rest of the year, I believe. I don't think it's a long-term deal. I think it's a bit like the Pangai Junior one for Penrith last year. It's gone there for the rest of the year. CJ, obviously you're a Rabbitohs fan, and obviously you don't really care about the Roosters too much, but do you like the signing of Matt Lodge to the Roosters for the rest of the year?
I'm ticking this on my board for another reason to not like Matt Lodge to start off with. It's an all right signing, I thought. I'd imagine he'd be coming off the bench if he is to start in that 17. Look, under Trent Robinson, I think, his discipline could get better.
Definitely.
I think it's an all right signing, but I don't see it being a club-changing type signing to push him up the ladder.
Okay. Lorenzo, what are your thoughts on this one? Matt Lodge to the Roosters for the rest of the year.
Look, I don't expect him to do too much. I think he'll just be there for the experience and just a bit of depth from the forwards. I think he's an alright player when he's on, but again, it's just for this year, so who knows how he'll go. But yeah.
All right, boys, I'll tell you what. Trent Robinson is a fucking genius. This is a great pickup. Matt Lodge is a very, very solid prop. I think him going to a club like the Roosters, who are usually in the top four, but they've been a bit ordinary this year, and it's obviously a bit disappointing for a club like them to be going quite average. But Matt Lodge off the bench, boys, he brings experience, he brings a lot of impact, and Matt Lodge is the sort of player where his discipline may get better, but in saying that, I don't know how much better it's going to get because we all know a guy by the name of Jared Aria-Hargraves, and we all know his discipline has always been quite ordinary. But I've got to say, Nick Politis and Trent Robinson, everybody involved, going out and getting Matt Lodge for the rest of the year, I think it's a great pickup. And Matt Lodge should behave a lot better under Trent Robinson. So I think this is the perfect fit for Matt Lodge. I really do.
Yeah, I think he'll do a good job. Like, I think if it's just for this year, then all you can ask for is he does a job, and yeah, I guess if he plays well enough, he might get another deal to Roosters. You never know.
He could. He could. I think he'll come off the bench. He'll probably play about 20, 25 minutes a game off the bench, maybe just for a bit
Yeah.
of impact. And look, I think he'll do a job. And look, with all due respect, bro, like the Butcher brothers are very good, and so is Fletcher Baker, but they don't really have that massive impact off the bench. Obviously, they've got Takiyaho, Hargraves, and Collins as their usual front row. One of them comes off the bench usually, but with Siwa Takiyaho going to the Catalan Dragons next year, they need another big prop like a Takiyaho, and Matt Lodge might be the guy for the job. So you've got Hargraves starting with Collins, and you got Matt Lodge coming off the bench with that impact as well. So the Roosters, I think they just got a little bit better with Matt Lodge going there. Good impact off the bench. And
Yeah, I agree completely.
as you boys would know, your bench is very important. You can't have a weak bench in this competition. You need to have a good bench. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind.
Yeah, I think he'll provide a lot of depth.
I think when we look at every team's best starting 13, we always forget about the bench. No one talks about the bench, and I don't care if you have a great starting full pack. If your bench doesn't provide impact when your big name players go off for a rest and get tired, it's gonna hurt you, especially in the long run. So I think the Roosters bench has got a much better, and Matt Lodge to go in there, I think is a great career move.
Pretty unfortunate.
I really believe it's a good signing.
Pretty unfortunate
sure.
that the Warriors still have to pay out his contract though, but
That's a shame. That is a bit of a shame, and the Warriors must be pretty upset about that. But in saying that, they're the dumb cunts that let him go in the first place. They let him walk out. They let him go. So it's their fault, really. It's their fault.
Exactly.
Anyway, we'll see how this Matt Lodge edition goes. But let's move on, boys. Topic number 4. Does international footy work mid-season? Lots of people have been copying Phil Gus Gould. Now, here's the thing, right? I was listening to the Six Tackles with Gus podcast the other week, and Gus said on the podcast, it is stupid to have international footy mid-year. And I sort of listened to him, I went, okay, I see where he's coming from. And then every fucking Facebook page, Instagram page decides to copy that and make it as they fucking created it, which is all bullshit. It's a copy and paste from what Gus Gould said. And now everyone's talking about it. I thought it worked fine. I don't think it was that much of a problem. I mean, would you rather watch fucking Tonga versus New Zealand on the weekend? Or would you rather watch the fucking Roosters versus the Panthers, where both teams have their New South Wales Cup players playing for them? I mean, I know what I'd prefer. I prefer New Zealand versus Tonga or whatever. Lots of people are upset about international footy being on during the origin period, but whatever time, besides the end of the year, whatever time of the year are you going to fucking do it? ProEnzo, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, I'm kind of disappointed that I'm actually upset that they're moving the international weekend away, because it's not going to be continuing at this time next year, which is I'm pretty disappointed, because this fits on calendar this time. I think it's fantastic for the game. It brings more interaction with the fans, and it's actually something you can watch over the weekend too. And I think it just makes sense. International rep round. You have Origin the same weekend as the Samoas and the Tongas and New Zealand team playing. Like, it's really good for the game. And what the NRL just don't care and want to change the nations and whatever they want to do next. It's just so stupid. And I think it works perfectly mid-season. I can't believe people like the NRL or ABDO, whoever the idiot is behind this change, is just is making a lot more changes to the game yet again. Like, we're not being consistent, and no, I'm pretty upset about it, to be honest, because I enjoyed it over the weekend, and call, but I think international rep round's better than State of Origin.
Oh, wow. What about you,
Personally.
CJ? What's your thoughts on this?
No, Lorenzo's correct on the Origin's better than the international footy's better than Origin statement. We all saw it was a successful round. The fans showed up. The players were playing with passion. Yeah, I think it should stay mid-season. You got to have a rep round. If you're going to have Origin mid-season, I do think you got to have a rep round, man. We've been starved of it for 3 years.
Go on, CJ. Go on, bro.
We've been starved of it for 3 years. It needs to be played, man.
Well, see, I get the vibe and I get the feeling that everyone's like, oh, international footy, who cares? Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. Did you see fucking Josh Schuster bawling his eyes out on the weekend? Did you see Kevin and Garma get emotional during the Fiji hymn? Did you see the Tongans, their dance? Did you see the haka? There were people in the crowd in fucking tears. They were so happy. They were so emotional about it. And the only negative I can say about it was the crowd at Campbelltown wasn't great. I think it was about 10,000. I think maybe in future look at better venues to get a better crowd in. I would have preferred maybe a doubleheader at Combank Stadium or take it to Queensland because up at Seabus Super Stadium and at Brisbane, they're always going to get a good crowd for international footy. I mean, that's just my opinion. Campbelltown is probably not the greatest venue for it. That's just my opinion. But besides that, it was an awesome round. International footy, I believe it works mid-year. And at the end of the day, the players that play Origin that have this heritage background, they need to make a decision for themselves. Okay, do we play State of Origin and do it for the $30,000 that they get? Or do we represent our culture? I need to make a fucking decision. And I think most of the time, they're all sort of torn what to do, and they're all lost.
And you're right. And also, just when people say injuries, injuries happen everywhere. It's part of the game, unfortunately. Whether you have this at the end of the year or mid-season, injuries are everywhere. Unfortunately, not much we can do.
And look, here's the other thing as well that I will mention as well. We talk about growing the game. Well, how the fuck are you going to have international footy at the end of the year like a tournament when we've already got the World Cup set in stone? So people are saying, why not have these games at the end of the year? It's like, did you forget about the World Cup, dumbass? The World Cup's at the end of the season. And then people are going to say, oh, the World Cup, blah, blah, blah. The World Cup is probably bigger than State of Origin, in my opinion. I think it is. I mean, you got every nation it's bigger than Origin. It's huge. And you need to have, here's the thing, right? You got the World Cup at the end of the year, and you got teams like Tonga, Samoa, and all this. Well, what other time of the year are you going to have international footy on mid-year besides World Cup? If the World Cup's not on, then okay, maybe have it at the end of the year. Fair enough. Have it in fucking late October, early November. Have the Four Nations and the international games on then. But if the World Cup is on, you have to play it mid-year because when are you going to be able to play it again? Because you can't. So you have to have if the World Cup's on, you have to have it on mid-year. If the World Cup isn't on, you can have it in October, November. So it works out well, but people are upset because players like Daniel Tupou, Jerome Luai, Brian Ty had to make a decision whether to play for New South Wales or Tonga or Samoa. So that's the reason why everyone's upset.
No, that's fair.
Hey, boys. You reckon or what?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Both of you.
Last thing I'll ask you on this as well. Would you keep this as a regular mid-season thing, international footy?
Yeah, absolutely. I love to keep it, but to change it is.
I think they need to keep it, but they need to work out better matches and better matchups and better fucking venues. That's what I feel. I reckon over the weekend, Samoa should have been playing Cook Islands. Samoa should have played Papua New Guinea, and Cook Islands should have played Fiji.
I think
Yeah,
that's
that
where
would
you
be-
find a bit more competitive. The game
game.
actually.
Better games, bro.
Yeah.
Better games. Exactly. I mean, with all due respect, if you watched the Samoa Cook Islands game, it was fucking game over at 14-0. We all knew it was over.
Yeah.
Too true.
If you had Samoa versus Papua New Guinea, that would have been a cracking game.
I think so, I think as well, like you obviously want more attention and more fans to watch, the weekend. But I guess if you had better fixtures and all that, it probably would have made it a bit more entertaining, and people wouldn't say, "Oh, just a one-sided game," with the Samoa Cook Island one, especially.
Well, Lorenzo, bro, I'll ask you this: do you think Campbelltown is a good venue for it, or would you have gone somewhere else?
Well, I mean, they had the role of being a double header, so obviously it didn't work. If you've got
10,000 people, it's not
10,000.
enough. You need more than 10,000.
I actually would have maybe taken it to somewhere like. This is my opinion, but I would have taken it to Canberra, maybe. Canberra, maybe exposed out there. I think it would
Canberra? Okay, yeah, Canberra.
be a bad idea.
Canberra is a fair place. I would have went double header at Combank, Bankwest Stadium. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Big stadium, yeah.
Would have been huge. What about you, CJ?
In terms of stadiums,
Yeah.
yeah, Combank makes sense. I wouldn't mind Canberra either. I think
Canberra's
a
good,
place
yeah.
I think a place like Leichhardt with the hill and all that wouldn't be too bad either, in my opinion at least.
Yeah, okay.
Better
Well,
ground,
fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Let's move on, boys. International footy works. And if nobody agrees, come at me and we'll debate about it.
Fucking.
All right. Topic number 3, boys. Selwyn Cobbo, the young Broncos outside back who plays on the wing at the moment, wants to play fullback long term. He has re-signed with the Broncos today until 2025. The question is, will he move to fullback during that time? We'll start with you first, CJ. Will he move to fullback or will he become a elite winger?
I can see both happening. Currently, I would prefer him on the wing as that's where he's developing at the moment and he's thriving up there right now. It's really up to him at the end of the day if he wants to be a fullback and see what the club wants to do. See how Tamara Martin works out over the next few months. Yeah, I can see him becoming a fullback by that time. So
Me too.
I wouldn't mind it, but at the moment, I would prefer him on the wing as that's where he's building himself.
Yeah, ProEnzo Vidz, mate. Selwyn Cobbo, do you see him as a long-term fullback? Will he move to fullback, or do you reckon he's just going to be a great winger?
Well, all the Broncos fans and the club obviously want him to be a fullback in the future because they see him as that being his best position going forward. But yeah, he's still young. He hasn't played 50 games yet. So I think his development on the wing is probably best for him and best for his game as well. So I think, yeah, going forward, he's a winger. But maybe, I guess with Tim Martin, depends on him. Like CJ said, if he continues to go well, maybe Cobbo might stay on the wing, but I think Cobbo's a long-term fullback. I think he's got the attributes to be a good one, so I think,
Definitely.
yeah, we'll make a move there.
I think I'm with you, Lorenzo, with Selwyn Cobbo. I think at the moment, I say for the next 2 seasons, so this year and next year, keep him as a winger. I think at the moment he's a top 5, top 3 winger in the game. I think 2024 preseason, build him up as a fullback. I think 2024 is the year where he moves to fullback. But I got to say this.
Yeah.
He is one of the best young kids I think I've seen in about 10 years. The bloke's got it all.
No doubt.
He's got the fend. He's got the fucking speed. He's got the talent. He needs to work on his defense a little bit, but once he gets that part of his game right, as for us, as I say in the chat, he could be anything, this kid. He is a freak. Isn't he?
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I think he's a great player.
And look, with the Tamara Martin thing, Tamara Martin, he has been playing fullback all year. He's doing a job. Tamara Martin's not a long-term fullback. He's a 5'8". We know that. We've seen it happen.
Yeah.
They've got a young kid there by the name of Ezra Mann. He's not going anywhere because I think he'll be staying at Brisbane long-term as well. he'll be re-signed very soon. Actually, I think he already has been re-signed. I could be. I don't know. I'm sure he's re-signed already. But I think Cobbo is the Broncos' long-term fullback, and they'll probably bring Jordan Pereira through the system and give him more games on the wing because I think he's a great young winger as well. I think he's a weapon, Jordan Pereira. But Cobbo, the bloke is a fucking freak. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say it. Selwyn Cobbo is already a top 3 winger in the game. The bloke's on another level. He's a freak.
Jesus. Well, I agree on that.
Yeah.
Basically, this is form for sure.
When I watch the Broncos play, or when we versus Broncos, which is happening this weekend, I look at that team and I'm going, fuck, that right-hand side, Stags and Cobbo, Jesus Christ. It gives me nightmares just thinking about those two together. It's that good. But when Cobbo moves to fullback in the near future, I think he will kill it, and I think he'll be awesome there, bro.
Yeah,
Well,
more experience too.
Cobbo moves to fullback. By that time, you'd have to think Adam Reynolds probably retires. Would you chuck Tamara Martin in the halves like the last said?
Well, maybe Tamara Martin and Ezra Mann could be the future halves. Who knows?
Yep.
Yeah,
Who
maybe.
knows? But bugging me, man. It's absolutely frightening what this kid could become. And I got to say, full credit needs to go to Kevin Walters, the Broncos coach, as well. Well, everyone was saying Kevin Walters should get the sack last year. I think I was in that conversation as well. And
that's right.
mate, he has really turned it around, and the way he's bringing some of these young kids through, it's a full credit to Kevin Walters. So Kevin Walters has been good, I reckon, as a coach so far at the Broncos, and full credit to him bringing these young kids through. Full credit to Kevin Walters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Full credit to him. All right, let's move on to topic number 2, boys. The New Zealand Warriors return home to New Zealand. Can they make it a fortress? As we know, when the Warriors were a top 4 team, a dominant team in New Zealand, it was like going to play Melbourne and Melbourne, and we all know how fucking hard it is. Warriors are back in New Zealand. Can they make it a fortress once again? I'm going to start with you first, CJ. Can the Warriors make New Zealand a fortress once again?
Yeah, I think they can. It'll be a tough trip going back. I think they won't take it for granted being at Mount Smart after the last 3 years. I won't say it'll be an impossible road trip up there, but I think it'll be very tough to start beating the Warriors there now. So I'll say, yeah, the next few years will be tough beating them there.
If you ask, teams in Sydney, for example, and you ask them, all right, what are the top 3 tough away trips in the competition? And they're going to tell you, Canberra in the wintertime is tough. Melbourne and Melbourne. They're going to tell you the Cowboys in Townsville has always been a tough trip. And they're going to tell you going to fucking Brookvale Oval's a tough trip as well. But I think the Warriors back in New Zealand, if they can get it right and if they can fucking find some consistency for a change, it could be a fortress again. Lorenzo, can the Warriors make New Zealand a fortress once again?
Yeah, I can't see why not. I mean, it's their first game back there it's in 3 years, so I think if they keep just playing well, and if they find that being back at home is a bit of a motivation, I suppose, in terms of being back in New Zealand playing in front of their home fans, and I can't see why not. It's a great stadium from what it looks like, and yeah, I think they could definitely make it a fortress.
I'm just going to say this. Now, this weekend, the Warriors played the Tigers, their first game back in New Zealand since 2019. They're at home, Sunday afternoon. They should be ready to go. If the Warriors lose to the Tigers on Sunday, I'm going to come on here for the Sunday football review, and I'm going to absolutely fucking tear into all of them. I'm going to fucking lose it. They are not allowed to lose this weekend. You know what? They should fucking match fix this game. It should be match fixing involved. They cannot lose this game. They are not allowed to lose. If they lose this game, they can get fucked for the rest of the year. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say this. If the Warriors lose this weekend, I will never tip them again this year. Never. I will tip the Titans over the Warriors if the Warriors lose this weekend. I will never tip them again this year if they lose.
They have to win.
But
It's
yeah,
must.
I know they got to win this game.
They are not
they
allowed
got
to
to win this
lose.
game for sure.
Fuck me. Sports bet, Ladbrokes, all these fucking betting companies. You need to match fix this game. They cannot lose. They're not allowed to lose.
It's a game where everyone's going to be for the Warriors, except for the Tigers fans. They have to win this.
If the Warriors don't win, I'm never tipping them again this year. I won't do it. I will not do it.
Fuck, man.
I'm telling you right now. Hey, let me put this camera real close. I promise you, Sunday night, Sunday football review. The Warriors lose this game. I'm going to come on here and I'm going to absolutely fucking tear into the Warriors like you will never see. Every single player in the team, I don't care if I have 3 tries or 5 try assists, they will be fucking abused to oblivion. I will not stop.
You tipped them 50-0.
And they fucking will win 50-0. If they lose, look out. They're not allowed to lose. They will be the emotion back in New Zealand, back at home. They're not allowed to lose. If they lose this weekend, look out.
I can't wait for Sunday now. That's all I'm going to say. I can't wait for Sunday.
If the Tigers win, Jesus Christ, I'm going to fucking lose it. I will be now. And here's the thing. I'm not even a Warriors fan. I fucking tipped the Warriors to come last this year. But if I lose this game, fuck them. Fuck the lot of them. Simple as that. But I tell you what, boys, they will lose games in New Zealand this year. They will win games in New Zealand this year. But I think they're a fair way away from making it a fortress, though. In all seriousness.
I think.
Until they become a top 4 team or a top 8 team, their record in New Zealand's probably going to be mediocre. But this weekend, there is absolutely no excuses.
Must win.
Must win. All right, let's go to topic number 1. Fellas, this conversation may get a bit heated, and I think everybody in the live chat might get a little bit heated with this as well. How many current NRL players are worth $1 million a season? Now, I've got a list in front of me with a couple of players that I reckon are worth $1 million a year. There's probably a few of them that aren't. Obviously, I've got one player here that's worth $1 million that's actually injured for the rest of the year. But I'm going to start with you first, Lorenzo. How many players are worth $1 million a year? And who have you got, bro? How many players and who have you got?
All right. I've got about 5 I could think of. I mean, there's probably more, but I think 5 for me so far. So, in no particular order, by the way, there's not an order. So, these are 5 players I believe are worth $1 million. So, I've got Nathan Cleary as one. I've got Jerome Hughes as another. I'm stuck. I think Munster. Yeah. I was gonna have him there. I don't think Cherry Evans and Hunt are worth $1 million in my opinion. 2 more. I hope I can just think of it. I think Reynolds is worth $1 million too, and I think last but not least I will go with
Tedesco?
All right, Tedesco, fair. Yeah, I'll give him. He's consistent, so I'll go with him.
All right, CJ, how many players are worth $1 million, and how many players, bro, and who are the players?
Well, I'll give you a few names off the top of my head. I've got Cameron Munster, Tom Trbojevic. Yes, I do think he is worth $1 million. Nathan Cleary, James Tedesco, and to an extent, I really do think you could push the boundary for someone like a Joseph Manu. It is tough, I think.
Would you throw Matt Burton in there or no?
Nah, not yet. I wouldn't throw Matt Burton in there yet.
Mitchell Moses worth $1 million a year?
Nah, not today.
Latrell Mitchell worth $1 million a year?
Nah, not yet.
Tedesco, Ben Hunt?
Yeah, Tedesco. Tedesco would be $1 million for me.
Who else? Jack White worth $1 million?
Nah, no way.
Okay.
It's
Tamalolo
really tough.
worth $1 million?
Not currently, but he definitely is close.
Okay. Okay.
It's tough thinking on top of your head.
Nico Hines worth $1 million?
Nah, not at all. I can say Manu, Tedesco, Trebojevic, Cleary, Munster, Hughes, and
Okay.
yeah, at the moment that I can think of.
Okay, that's a good list. That is a very good list. Okay, for me, I have got 1, 2, 3. I got about 5. I got about 4 or 5. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know the number of mine, but this is what I've got. Okay. Again, no particular order. Nathan Cleary is worth $1 million a year. Nathan Cleary, Cameron Munster, James Tedesco. I reckon Latrell Mitchell's worth $1 million a season. And the last player I got is Jason Taumalolo. They're my 5.
Okay.
So, Penrith Panthers, Nathan Cleary. Melbourne Storm, Cameron Munster. Cowboys, Jason Taumalolo. Rabbitohs, Latrell Mitchell. And Roosters, James Tedesco. There is nobody else I can think of that's worth $1 million a year. I can argue others. Nico Hines ain't worth $1 million. Matt Burton ain't worth $1 million. If Joseph Manu went to another club as a fullback, I reckon he would be worth $1 million. That's just me. As a centre, I wouldn't pay him. Payne Haas, I wouldn't. No.
If I was a club on the lookout for fullback, I would chuck $1 million at Joseph Manu.
Yeah. Like, for example, the Dolphins, right? If Joseph Manu was off contract, Dolphins throw $1 million on him, I'd have no problem with it.
Yeah,
Someone said, Faraz says Adam Reynolds. No, I don't think so. I
think
not big days.
There are a few players currently on $1 million a year. Oh no, Tom Trebojevic was the other one I forgot to mention. Tommy Turbo. All right, so my list is basically Tom's worth $1 million. Tom's worth $1 million. Let me refresh my list. Sorry, apologies for that. Nathan Cleary, Cameron Munster, Jason Taumalolo, Latrell Mitchell, James Tedesco, Tom Trebojevic. 6 players. That's it. No one else is worth $1 million.
Luke Brooks.
Yeah.
Luke Brooks. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, cool.
I'd rather play Adam Clune more than fucking Luke Brooks. And I'm being serious. Turbo doesn't step up in the big games. Reynolds is proven. Turbo kills it in Origin, and he kills it. And he was good in the finals. I mean, last year against the Roosters.
He can't help the fucking fact he gets injured. Fucking hell. Stupid.
Everyone gets injured. It happens. Turbo killed it in Origin, and he killed it in the finals against the Roosters. So,
okay,
I mean, I don't
let
think
me sum it up like this. If you can agree that Latrell is a $1 million player, you should also agree that Tom isn't a $1 million player.
Latrell's worth $1 million, I think. He's that good. He's a freak. Latrell Mitchell's a game changer. Latrell Mitchell comes into your team, you are a 12-point better side. Simple as that.
Fucking better be this week.
You are. And a few people are saying, well, what about Api Coruscant? I don't believe he is.
No, he's not. What?
Would you pay any hooker $1 million? You got Harry Grant.
No.
I wouldn't.
Oh,
No forward's worth $1 million. Maybe apart from 2.
Maybe Tamalolo and Payne Haas, but that'd be it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't pay anyone else. I mean, Tamalolo's probably the best forward in the game at the moment, especially on form, the way he's playing. But Payne Haas is pretty close. Anyway, it's good to have a bit of a debate about that. I've got 6 players worth $1 million a year, but yeah, it's interesting to see how many people reckon how many players are worth $1 million a year, because there's a fucking list of them that you could debate.
Absolutely, man. It's a good one to have.
All right, it's time.
Oh no.
It is time for the Breakdown Podcast game show. Let's go. ProEnzo Vidz versus CJ MOXLEY.
I'm nervous.
Now, ever since I started this Breakdown Podcast game show, CJ has come on, and I think he's undefeated. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah.
No, he gets more all the time.
ProEnzo is very good at this as well.
Absolutely.
What we're going to do, as always, as you boys know, the game is pretty simple. First one to get 3 questions right is the winner. Nobody in the live chat is allowed to reveal the answers, because if you do, you will be given a 5-minute timeout warning. And Jason Reader has just stated no answers in the chat, please, lads. So thank you for that, Jason. You beat me to the punch. But as you know, anyone puts an answer in the chat, they will be removed for 5 minutes. I'll put you in timeout. All right. Let's do it, boys.
Look at the
And the
wall.
odds are out from our good friend, Sam Revel. You know, Sam's.com. He has his own betting company. It's called Sam's Pizzas. And the odds are out. CJ is $1. CJ's $1.80 and ProEnzo's at $2. So pressure's on. ProEnzo Vidz is the outsider here. CJ is the favorite. All right.
Bring it on.
You guys can do score predictions in the chat on who you reckon is going to win. But all right. Here we go.
Yeah.
Question number 1. First question. Fellas. Back in round 14 of the NRL, what was the score between the Sharks and the Warriors?
38-12.
Wrong.
Sharks 38, Warriors 22.
Close, but no cigar.
38-20.
Okay, timeout. The score was Cronulla 38. What did the Warriors get? Go.
16.
24.
CJ is correct. 38-16.
Oh, fuck.
Good start, Mr. Moxley.
Fuck.
CJ Moxley 1. ProEnzo Vidz 0. Good start for CJ. All right. Question number 2. Fellas, who do the Eels play in the final round of this year?
Storm.
Correct again.
Fuck, man. How?
And as you can see, CJ's head's looking up at the ceiling, so he's not cheating.
guys.
It doesn't seem to need it, though.
What's that?
Doesn't seem to need it, though. He's sitting on them all.
No, look at him. Fuck me. ProEnzo, if you get swept, that's fucked.
That's like for a third time now.
All right, next question. In round 23, who do the Manly Seagulls play at Brookvale Oval?
Parramatta.
Oh,
Wrong.
Fuck.
Lorenzo.
fuck. Sharks.
Correct. Well done.
Yes.
Gee, you did well to get that one right. You must have had a good look at the fucking Manly draw.
Oh, it was between 2 clubs I was thinking of, but luckily I said Sharks.
Who was the other club you're thinking of?
I was thinking, Parramatta like CJ.
Parramatta. Oh, okay. All right. Next question. Okay. Right. In round 20 of the NRL this year, how many games that round of footy are in Queensland?
2.
3.
CJ, you are correct. 2.
Yes.
And that means CJ is the winner.
Oh.
3-1.
Oh,
Yeah.
good
game.
Yeah.
Moxley
Yeah,
with
good
the
job.
dub.
Good
CJ
job.
Moxley as special guest wins 3-1, and Sam Revel's odds were on the money. CJ Moxley was $1.80, and ProEnzo Vidz was $2, and CJ Moxley is the winner of the Breakdown Podcast Game Show. Congratulations, mate. You win a prize of fuck all. Congratulations.
Yeah, fair game.
All right. Well, fellas, let's get into the round of footy. Round 16 of the NRL. As we know, it's Beanie for Brain Cancer round, and I spent all afternoon looking for a fucking beanie all over Lismore, all over Gunnellabar, even in fucking Ballina, and they were all sold out everywhere I went. So I haven't been able to get a beanie, and I'm really upset about it. I would love a beanie for Brain Cancer round. I haven't got a beanie for the Marquis Foundation, and I'm pretty pissed off about it. So hopefully I can get one this weekend sometime. But let's get into it. As we all know, round 16 of the NRL kicks off tomorrow night. It's the Seagulls versus the Storm at Brookvale Oval, 7:50 p.m. Boys, who's going to win? And give me the first try scorer. We're going to start with you, ProEnzo Vidz. Your boys, Manly. Who wins, by how much? And give me the first try scorer.
Yeah, I can't see this being going any other than a Melbourne Storm win. So I think Melbourne win by 14, and I reckon Justin Owen will score a try anytime.
So you reckon Justin Owen will score first?
Yeah, first and anytime.
Yeah. All right. CJ, Manly, Melbourne.
I'll go Melbourne by 10, and I'll give the first try to the returning Ryan Pappenhausen.
Okay, well, before I get into it, I've got some breaking news. Cameron Munster has been ruled out of tomorrow night's game. Munster's been rested.
Ooh, wow.
From what I understand, Nick Meaney will go to 5'8", and Ryan Pappenhausen will come in at fullback. So Munster is being rested. And as we know, Melbourne have done that a few times this year, and they've still won very well. I'm going to go Melbourne by 16 points. And first try scorer, I'll go. I'll go Harry Graham. Harry Graham from dummy half. First try.
Yeah, all right. Interesting.
All right. Next game, Friday night, 6 o'clock at McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle. Newcastle Knights against the Gold Coast Titans. Put me to sleep now. This game is going to be a bludger. Boys, who wins? And give me the first try.
Newcastle by 4, 24-20. First try, Adam Clune.
All right, nice. I like it. ProEnzo?
Yeah, Newcastle by about 6 points, and I've got Dane Gagai for first try.
I'll go Newcastle by 14. I reckon they'll be too good for the Titans down there in Newcastle. And I'll go Mitch Barnett, boys, for the first try.
Oh, wow.
Go for a bit of value. All right, the other game on Friday night, Panthers and the Roosters out at Penrith. Lorenzo, who wins? And first try, mate?
Yeah, Panthers should be a bit too good. Panthers to win by probably 16 points, and Taylor May for first try.
Nice. CJ?
Panthers by 18. Apisai Coruscant, first try.
Yeah, Panthers by 18 for me as well. And first try, I'll go with Nathan Cleary.
Yep.
Nathan Cleary, first try. Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock, CommBank Stadium or Bankwest Stadium, whatever you want to call it. Bulldogs and the Sharks, Lorenzo.
Yeah, Sharks should be a bit too good for the Dogs, I think. And I've got the Sharks by about 10. My first score is Sione Katoa.
Nice. CJ?
Sharks by 8, and I've gone Blake Brayley for the first try.
I'm going the Sharks by 7. A late field goal from Nico Hines or Matt Moylan to finish the game off. First try scorer. I'm going to go with Matty Moylan, boys. Matty Moylan.
Moiser.
All right.
Moiser. He's in good form, Matty Moylan, so I'll go Moylan. Saturday night, 5:30 p.m., the Queensland Derby. Cowboys, Broncos from Townsville. Who wins and who scores first, Lorenzo?
Yeah, Cowboys should win. I think Cowboys win by 2 points. And my first try scorer is going to be the Hamisa Tabuai-Fidow.
The Hammer. It's Hammer time. Let's hope it's Hammer time on Saturday night. CJ, what do you reckon about this one?
Game of the round, Queensland Derby rivalry. I've gone to Cowboys by 3, and I think the first try scorer, I'll give it to Reece Robson.
Cowboys by 3. What is this, Rugby Union or something? NRL 9? Fuck me. That's fucking funny. I'm going the Cowboys by 20. They will be too good in Townsville. They look fit. They look amazing in Townsville. Haven't lost in Townsville since round 4, and they're in great form. So I'm going to go the Cowboys by 20 in a bit of a blowout, and Valentine Holmes will score the first try. The Broncos don't have what it takes. Come at me, Brisbane.
I can't wait.
Anyway, the other game on Saturday night at Accor Stadium or ANZ Stadium, whatever you want to call it. This game is really tough to tip. Rabbitohs versus Eels. CJ, you'll be at this game, won't you, bro?
Yeah, I should be there, depending on how I feel on Saturday. I'll go South by 12 and Latrell Mitchell to score a double.
Will he score first?
Yeah, he'll score first.
Fuck, I like that. What about yourself, ProEnzo?
Yeah, I'll be upset. I've gone Souths as well to win by about 4 points. And my first try scorer is going to be Isaiah Papali'i in the back row.
I'm going Parramatta by 8. I think they'll just get over the line. I'm a little bit worried about this game. It could go either way. It's South's a scary with Latrell Black, but I think Parramatta's full pack can get the job done. So I'm going Para by 8. And first try score, I'll go Reid Marnie from dummy half. Reid Marnie.
Right.
Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock, the homecoming game in New Zealand. Warriors and the West Tigers. CJ.
Warriors by 30. Sean Johnson to score first.
Nice. Lorenzo?
I've got Warriors by 12, and my first try scorer is going to be Ewan Aiken.
Ewan Aiken back in the centres. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm going at the Warriors by 50. 50-0. Warriors will win 50-0. Sean Johnson will get a hat-trick.
Oh, wow. Fuck.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going bigger. Sean Johnson to get a hat-trick and Marcelo Montoya to get a double.
Fuck,
Fuck it.
Get all that. Imagine that.
I'm going to put $1 on that in a minute as well. Live on YouTube, I'm going to do it. So give me a minute. And the last game of the round, Dragons and Raiders. This is a real toss of the coin game. Bit of value for the Dragons out of Wollongong. Dragons and Raiders, Lorenzo.
I've got Dragons back at Wollongong to win by about 8 points. And my first try scorer is going to be Makali Ravalawa down that right side.
Nice. CJ, Dragons, Raiders?
I'll give it to the Raiders by 8, and the first try scorer will be Joseph Tarpany.
I'll go the Dragons by 6. This will be a really tight game. And for the first try, I'll go with Jack Bird in the back row. My man, Jack Bird. He'll score. First. All right, I'll tell you what. While I'm here, I'm going to give everybody my Nick from Australia best bet of the round. And I'm going to put it on live on YouTube while I've got the chance. So bear with me. Let me just deposit some money into my Nick Bet account. Good old Nick Bet. And I'm going to put these bets on right now. And we're going to see how we go for my best bet of the weekend. Let's hope it gets up, boys. Because there's nothing better than getting a fucking win. It's nothing better. All right. Bear with me. Just putting this money in. If it ever wants to fucking load up.
Here we go.
But, boys, just quickly, who are your specials of the weekend?
Specials, well, probably the Panthers.
The Panthers?
Yep.
CJ, who are your specials of the weekend?
You know, I'd say South, but not to be biased either. I'll go Canberra Raiders.
All right. Dragons are my specials of the weekend. Dragons. They're a great price. Dragons are a good price. All right, here we go. Right. So here's this multi that I'm doing. Where's this Warriors game? Here it is, way down the bottom here. All right, here we go. I don't know what this is going to pay. This could pay anything. Warriors to win. Sean Johnson, 3 tries. Where is it? $301 for Sean Johnson to score 3 tries.
Fuck me.
And a Montoya double. Fellas, it's paying $2,501.
Oh, jeez.
I'm putting $3.60 on it right now. The return is $9,000. Here it is. I'm going to put it on.
Get that.
Sean Johnson hat trick. Marcelo Montoya 2 tries. If it ever, all right, give me a minute. It'll load up.
Yeah, there we go. I can see it. Yeah.
Montoya 2, Johnson 2. Look at that. $3.60 on it. Look at the return.
This. Holy
9,000.
9,000.
9,000. Jesus Christ.
Mate,
I'll be
you
a
get
rich cunt.
this. Holy shit.
And my special, okay, my best bet of the round, boys. Righto, we're gonna go. The Panthers over the Roosters head to head. We're gonna go the. Oh, hang on, I'm just trying to work this out the best way I can. All right. So I think we'll go Melbourne in the multi because Melbourne will probably just win. We'll go Melbourne in the multi. We'll throw Penrith in there as well. We'll throw Parramatta 1-12. Actually, no. Fuck Parramatta. We'll go the Warriors in the multi. 13 plus, I should say. And we'll throw in the Dragons 1-12. All right, not a bad bet. So here we go. Lads, if you want to jump on this, it's a decent price. Melbourne Storm head-to-head. Penrith Panthers head-to-head. New Zealand Warriors 13 plus. And St. George Illawarra Dragons 1-12. It's paying $14.51. I'm putting $10 on it right now. $10 on it. Get $144 back.
Good price.
Not bad,
Hopefully it's up here. Hopefully it's up.
And last thing I'll do, I'll pick an anytime try scorer from the teams I've tipped to win. So, Melbourne Manly, I'll go Olam anytime. Not bad, eh, boys? Olam anytime. You like it?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He always was against Manly.
He does, doesn't he? All right, Newcastle Gold Coast. I'll go Dominic Young on the wing. Not bad, eh? Dominic Young.
He's due.
Not bad.
I think it's fair.
Panthers and Roosters. What do you reckon, boys? Taylor May?
Yeah, he scores
May
just about everything.
Yep. Bulldogs Sharks. I don't know, man. Ronaldo Mulatalo, maybe? Ronaldo?
Addo Carr.
Nah, I don't trust Addo Carr. I don't trust him.
Mulatalo.
Yeah, Ronaldo will do. Cowboys Broncos, I'll go Val Holmes. Val Holmes is a good shout.
Yeah, he usually scores against.
Or Hamiso.
South and Parramatta, I'll go, Sevo, you reckon you'll get over?
I hope
not. I don't think so, actually.
Really? Oh, surely he gets over. Warriors and Tigers, Montoya. I'll go Marcelo Montoya. And Dragons and Raiders, I'll go Ravalawa.
Yeah, Ravalawa, I like that.
All right, well, I've gone with all outside backs. Paying $248. We'll chuck, I don't know, say, $6 on it.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
The return is $1,491.
Fuck, man.
So
not bad.
Huge odds. Anytime try scorers, Justin Olam, Dominic Young, Taylor May, Ronaldo Mulatalo, Valentine Holmes, Micah Sevo, Marcelo Montoya, and Michaeli Ravalawa. They're all wingers, except we got Holmes and Olam as two centers. So they're all my bets for the weekend. But some good bets there, boys. So hopefully it gets up.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully it does.
All right, boys. Well, that's going to conclude the Rugby League Breakdown podcast, episode number 54. CJ and Lorenzo, thank you very much. It's been a good show.
Yeah, it has. Thanks for having me on, man. Really good show tonight.
Yep, too easy.
All right, everyone. Well, if you guys enjoyed the podcast, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share the podcast around to your friends, your cousin, your sister, your nan, whoever you want to send it around to. Share it around to everyone you know. Anyway, guys, we are getting on out of it, and I will see you guys tomorrow night for the Thursday night football review between Manly and Melbourne. Lorenzo, hopefully we see your boys get up, and hopefully we see a punch from someone.
Well, I like to see a punch, but I don't think we'll see a win, unfortunately.
Hopefully Dylan Walker comes on and throws a punch at someone.
Walker, Olakawatu.
Kafusi's not playing, so it would have been perfect. But hopefully we see some sort of fucking fire encounter between Manly and Melbourne. But anyway, guys, enjoy your night. We'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good night, everyone.